do? Am I live yet? Yes, I am. All right, it's finally working. Cool. So yeah, just swing me questions. Let's just talk some Yankees. I mean, it's a pretty nice Thursday night. It's pretty cold, so not really much to do. But yeah, no, swing any questions, Yankees related. I'm just gonna keep sharing this out, get this out so that like people show up. So like I don't sit here. Just talk to the one person that's here. Hello, person. If you have a question, please ask away. Unless it just counts like myself as one person. I'm just talking to myself. And they're gone. Never mind. That sucks. All right, swing questions. I'm gonna get ratioed down. It's unfortunate. But yeah, swing questions if you guys have any. Yankees related, of course. I'm probably not going to be talking like football or basketball just because it's the Yankees channel. So yeah. But just swing any questions you have. So just put them in the chat. Tweet at me. I guess that works too. But yeah, not really much else for me to say until I get questions. I wonder if I can share a screen with a spreadsheet because that'd be pretty fun. Because I would like to put together like a spreadsheet of like the best options at each position, but can't do that yet. All right, a question. Yes. How do you feel about signing Starling Marte if we had to sign Rizzo at first base? If you're asking me, would I sign? I mean, I don't see a situation where signing Marte means you had to sign Rizzo at first. You would think it would do the opposite effect, where like if you sign a free agent, it kind of limits who you can. But would I be okay with Starling Marte, Anthony Rizzo, and a shortstop? Yes. Would I love having to pay multiple mid-30s guys who are on the tail of their careers? Maybe not. But I think for like the 2022 Yankees, if we're just looking strictly at 2022, nothing else, a Yankees team with Anthony Rizzo, Starling Marte, and you shortstop, and like let's say you traded for Mitch Garver, that'd be great. I just don't see the Yankees spending on a shortstop, on Starling Marte, and on Anthony Rizzo. I don't see that happening. But I mean, it would be fine. I mean, I'd be cool with it. Would question the level in which the sustainability of having a team like that. But for 1 year, it'd be pretty cool. Not sure how sustainable that is, though. But yeah, keep questions coming. I like answering questions. It's fun. All right, we're just gonna yeah, and boom. Floreal or Hicks in left field / center, or is that center field? Yes, it's center field. Sorry, I don't have my glasses. I should put on my glasses. I can't see a thing. Can't find them, so we're not going to be putting them on. I guess we're going to go blind. I think Floreal Floreal excites me because when you're projected at an WRC plus for Steamer, that means that your baseline projection, your median outcome is at 50. Now, younger players have higher volatility, which means that they're more likely to jump up and down in what the projections are. So he's a bigger risk. But I would certainly say like Floreal's defensive excellence makes him the more intriguing option. But Hicks is probably the safer player if they're both healthy, just because you kind of know what you're getting with Hicks. But if Floreal impresses in spring training, I really think he should get a shot to play center field. The speed is there, the defensive prowess. I mean, scouts, I think Baseball America says he's like the best defender, athlete, and outfield arm in the system. I think the ability to hit for power. I'm Hispanic. Got a little, but yeah, no, I would say that that Floreal provides a lot of the things that the Yankees are looking for defensively in center field. And then I would say that his ability, as long as he's putting the ball in the air a little bit more, he'll be fine. He'll probably put up a 90, 95 WRC plus. So he's basically like Kevin Kiermaier light or like Brett Phillips, which works perfectly well for the 9 spot. But in comparison to Hicks is just like, he's just kind of a different player. I think he's the better hitter, but the worst defender. I think Hicks ultimately just kind of ends up in left field towards the end of his career. But, overall, I guess my answer for 2022 is Hicks. But going forward, or like even halfway through the season, I could see Floreal getting that spot. So, yeah. It's a long answer. Yeah, I mean, I am I think it's just the lighting. The lighting is probably a little weird. But yeah, I'm like tan. I'm very tan. Not very tan, just slightly tanned. It's probably just the lighting in here, or I don't know. Because I think if there's like a better light, like I am definitely lighter. Yeah. Compliment Gary Sanchez challenge. I think Gary Sanchez, unironically, is one of the better hitters at the catching position. And I think that if you put him either in a hitting situation, like if you give him a actually good hitting coach, there's the potential for him to turn it around. But I think on a team like the Yankees, and especially in a city like New York, you're kind of past the, all right, let's see what he can give you stage. Like his baseline projection is a 101 WRC plus, which is right around guys like JT Realmuto, Buster Posey before he retired, William Astudillo, Austin Nola. Like those are some pretty solid offensive catchers. It's better than Carson Kelly's. Like his baseline projections, he's going to be an above average hitter, especially for a catcher. And so the batted ball data, it's excellent. He has, he can work walks. It's just a matter of like, I just don't know if he's going to put it together here. And I don't think the defense is good enough to justify it to keep playing him. But could he break out? Maybe. The potential is always going to be there. But I just don't know if it happens here. And I don't know if it's a risk worth taking anymore. But yeah, I think he's a talented hitter. And I think certainly he could figure it out. Maybe I think Colorado's a perfect spot for him because it kind of kills the effects of a higher of like the high spin fastballs upper part of the strike zone. And I think that's what really kills Gary. And I think if you sent him to Colorado, he would have like a CJ Cron type 2022. And that'd be cool because I like Gary and I want him to be on the World Baseball Classic team for the Dominican Republic. So, I like Gary. It's just that I don't think he's that good. Yankees offseason predictions. If you want me to give you my hottest offseason prediction, Carlos, I'll give you this one. The Yankees this offseason, when it comes to acquiring a first baseman, they will go with a platoon for 2022. They will find a left-handed first baseman. They will pair him with a guy like Gittins, and that is what they're rolling out in 2022. That's like my hot take. Now, if you're gonna say like what's like the slam dunk one, I think the highest probability one is the Yankees go out and sign Corey Seager. I would prefer Correa, but I think Seager is the most likely outcome out of all free agents to become a Yankee. How much would it take for us to get rid of Britton's contract? A lot, because Britton is a free agent after, and he has literally zero. He's not going to contribute at all to the team, to any team next year. And so I think his trade, like to trade him, you would have to put together some prospects, and it's really not worth doing. Just take the insurance money you're going to get. It's not going to count towards luxury. The contract's going to account towards luxury tax, but Hal's going to have some insurance money in his pockets. So realistically, I don't think Hal's too worried about Britton's contract. I don't think the Yankees are too worried about Britton's contract, and I don't think it's worth giving up because you'd have to give up like Schmidt or like Garcia, and Davies a pretty nice reclamation piece. You should not trade him as low as value. It's just no reason to trade prospects to get rid of that contract when no team's really dying to get him. I think Hicks is a much more movable contract. I think Hicks is actually a pretty good player. So there's that. Yeah. Or like even tender, like Gary, like I would like normally just say, oh, no, tender the guy. But I think there's someone who's going to actually want to trade for him. So tendering him and losing him for nothing doesn't really make sense to me. Just figure out who actually wants him, which they'll have suitors. And so, yeah. Do you think the Yankees got absolutely. I think any year that the Yankees are competitive, the Yankees have a chance to make the World Series. I think they have one of the better organizations. Their front office is competent enough to put the right pieces around them. Now, have they come up short in the last 12 years? Yes. Has it been frustrating at times? Yes. But have the Yankees consistently put themselves in positions to go make a deep playoff run? Also, yes. If you look at the last 5 years, you can't tell me that the Yankees weren't this, like 2020, I think they were really just one run away from getting to the ALCS and going and beating the Astros in the ALCS and going to the World Series. I think that in 2019, again, they were 2 games away from going to the World Series. In 2018, Boston was just the best team in baseball that year. If they beat Boston, they probably get to the World Series. 2017, 1 game away. Even you look at the 2012, 2011, 2010 teams. Jeter getting hurt in 2012, that definitely hurt that team. It's the Yankees are not a team that, they're like a poverty team. Like they're a team that can't make the playoffs. They're a team that can make the playoffs and they can make a deep playoff run. Definitely believe they have good chance to make the World Series next year. Chances Boston signs one of the big shortstops and moves Xander to second. Feel like that would push the Yankees to make more moves than they would have originally. I think that the smart move for the Red Sox is they get Correa, they move Xander to second, and then they just let Xander walk the year after. Kind of like what the Dodgers have done with Trey Turner, where they brought in Turner, allowing them to make a decision on Corey Seager. Except they're going to move Xander off of short instead of keeping him there like the Dodgers kept Seager at short. I ultimately don't know if they do that. I think they might get a Marcus Semien. Maybe they get Javier Baez. That would be a nice, fun addition for them. I really like that fit for them. But I really don't know if they are going to actually go through with it. There are certainly options for them to go after. I think the Red Sox are one of the better teams in baseball. I think they have one of the better lineups. I think they have one of the best general managers. And I think that they're enticing to any free agent to go to attract a free agent. But I don't know how strongly they'll pursue a Carlos Correa, how strongly they'll pursue a Trevor Story, a Javier Baez, a Marcus Semien, when there are other teams who are desperate for one. And when realistically, the Red Sox could sign a second baseman. They don't need to sign a shortstop. These other teams kind of need to sign a shortstop. How would you feel about trading? Oh, let me go back to this. Thoughts on Urshela. I think Urshela is a fine kind of like utility infielder at this point. I'm not sure if I'm out on him offensively, but I'm certainly down on him offensively. And I think the Yankees need to kind of move on at this point. He's kind of pretty easy to move on. I think he has some value, and I think the Phillies are a great fit for him. The Phillies could use the help. They trotted out Torreyes and Didi, and they could definitely use some help there, and I think Urshela can help them out, and I think the Yankees get something back for him. But I don't think Urshela really fits what the Yankees are looking for right now. How would you feel about trading Hicks and platooning Andrew Mccutcheon and Floreal? Assuming Mccutcheon can even play center field, he's atrocious in left field. I do not think you could really trot out Mccutcheon in center field, though he's still somehow pretty fast. But yeah, no, I can't see him in center field at this point. But if he could play the position, certainly him and Floreal as a platoon would be incredible. That would be great. And I think, the Phillies could potentially want to have a guy like Hicks where you can put him in left field. You had the DH, you get a switch hitter in there. I think they could be enticed by Hicks, but I don't think Mccutcheon can play center field at a high enough level at this point to even call him passable. People act like the Yankees have been bad for making the playoffs. Yeah, look, as much as I will give the Yankees crap, and I think fans who have given the Yankees crap, there is some deserved crap to give them. There are, some really, really, infuriating things that we've seen with this team. But at the same time, it's one of the better experiences as a fan to be a fan of a consistent playoff team. You could be a White Sox fan before they had this core. You could have been a Tigers fan. You could have been a Cleveland Guardians fan. You could have been so many. I just named a bunch of Central teams. A Pirates fan, a Diamondbacks fan, a Rockies fan, an Orioles fan, a Marlins fan. Like, there are so many worse situations. We're in the hunt every year. We'll get our World Series at some point. It will happen. The Yankees are going to do it at some point. Just keep on keeping on. It hurts. It sucks when you lose, but at least we're there. Thoughts on trading for the Diamondbacks catcher, Carson Kelly? I think Carson Kelly is a very good catcher. He's a pretty good defender. He brings a lot of good offensive tools, but I just don't see the Diamondbacks moving him. Don't really see a need to. With 3 years of control, there's really no urgency to. And unless you get blown away by an offer, let him build back up some of his value, or give him extend him even. There's no strong need to trade him. There's no desperate need to trade him, so you don't have to do it. I don't see them doing it right now. Do you think they'll go after Kluber and Rizzo? Kluber, no. But I'm not 100% sure. And then Rizzo, I would say they're going to go after him. And I think they'll end up either matching his offer in between or just finding a Matt Olson kind of guy. I really don't think the Yankees are going to be like desperate for Rizzo, but I do think he's going to be someone they are interested in. And I understand why. Do you think Judge will be the MVP next year? It's hard to put him. It's hard to say in an American League that currently has Trout, Ohtani, Jose Ramirez, Carlos Correa, even guys in his own division, looking at Wander Franco. It's hard to say that Judge's going to, just waltz his way to an MVP, but Judge is always a perennial MVP candidate. He is one of the 10 best players in baseball. He's truly an elite baseball player. I wouldn't say that he's the favorite. Or Vlad, I forgot about Vlad. I wouldn't say he's the favorite, but I would say he's one of the best options to pick for MVP for 2022. Troy Snitker or Tim Hires? I would say Snitker, but I wouldn't be upset with Hires. Like I think Snitker's is a matter of like I thought the Red Sox could have gotten him, but apparently the Red Sox promoted someone else already. Really, that's only it. I mean, we're talking about like we're picking between two very comparable hitting coaches, so I'm good with either one as long as we get someone who I think fits what the organization is looking to do philosophically. Matches what the minor league system's done. I'll be good there. Do it. Trade for Kelly. I mean, if he's available, yes, absolutely. I just don't know if he's available. That's the thing. I mean, a lot of these rumors are just based on an NJ.com article and an MLB executive burner who's supposedly got sources, but I don't really buy into it. So there's no substance. There's no, substance there. You may say, well, he says he traded for Mitch Garver. Where's the substance there? He's actually had a quote of him saying like the future is uncertain. I don't know if you really have that with Kelly, but where there's smoke, there is fire. Maybe there's some talks, but don't know if it ultimately happens. Do you think they'll go after Correa? Absolutely. I think Correa is the top player in this free agency class. I think he's as good as it gets. And I can't say enough good things about Correa. He is a great player. He has played in the big moments. He's played it at the biggest stage, even though that doesn't really matter to me too much. But I guess to some fans it does, and so I appeal. He's a great player, great defender, very good hitter, just everything you want in a shortstop. And so I can't see the Yankees not going after him. So the Yankees will definitely be involved. Manny Pena is the guy. I think honestly Pena is one of the best fits for this team. I think when we're talking about his ability to barrel the ball, he has like 45.7% fly ball rate since 2019. Walks at a decent enough clip, barrels the ball at a decent enough clip. Great defender. I think Manny Pena is one of the best fits for this, for a team that really could use an upgrade at the catching position. And granted, if they can figure it out with Gary, that fixes everything. But I don't know if you can really bank on that. Thoughts of moving on to Phil Nevin. I think Phil Nevin being moved on from is the right decision. I think the Yankees really, really struggled with base running, and I think Phil Nevin was kind of a part of those issues. So I think moving on from Nevin was the right idea. I wish the best for the guy. He's been through a lot. I know with his COVID situation, he actually missed his son's major league debut, and that sucks. I wish the best for the guy, but really didn't like his job, how he did his job this year. OBJ is going to the Raiders. Again, probably going to stick to the Yankees, but that'd be cool for, that'd be cool for the Raiders. Browns fans, so, kind of sucks to see OBJ hate my quarterback, but, whatever. But yeah, keep submitting questions. I've got time and you guys have questions and I hope I have answers. Who would you want as your next new play? Yeah. Okay. Next year in case Cashman leaves. I think the Braves guy Stearns. I'm pretty sure he's set to hit free agency next year. So Stearns would be cool. Wait, is it Stearns? Oh my God, I'm forgetting their names. The Brewers guy. But yeah, I would say Brewers guy or anyone from the Rays organization. That's my answers. Those are my answers. Yeah, Stearns. That's his name. I don't know why I questioned myself. I was 100% sure it was Stearns. Some good ice water. It's cold, but is Cashman a top 5 general manager? Not sure if he's top 5, but I would say he's top 10. Just because I don't have an ironed out top 5. Really don't rank general managers that much because it's a little bit difficult to do so because, you can't really, like, would you rank general managers on results? Because that would be tough to do, right? Because, you just luck into some guys. Hey, little man.
I'm sorry.
Goodbye. You gotta, bye-bye.
Okay.
Love you. Anyways, Cashman, would say he's top 10. Not sure about top 5, just because I haven't really made a top 5. But maybe he's in that. I think he's in the discussion. The Yankees need a starting pitcher. Who do you think they'll go after? I'm pretty sure. I have a notebook where I was taking some notes on this stuff. Because paying attention in class is, not really. It's kind of overrated, for being honest. Thinking about the Yankees offseason way more important than class. So my top 5, I think, at each position I had. So at starting pitcher, I had Sean Manaea. That's my top guy. I had Tanaka, Bassett, Wood, and Mccutcheon as the other guys on here. At shortstop, I had Correa, Seager, Story, Simeon, Baez. Center field, Buxton, Suzuki, Conforto with Judge at center field, Canna and Hicks. Third base, Chapman, Taylor, Suzuki. First base, Olson, Choi, Belt, Rizzo, Bell. Catcher, Garver, Castro, Pena, Vasquez, and Perez. So starting pitcher, Sean Manaea. That's a good fit. Tanaka could be a great fit. Bassett could be a great fit. Wood could be a great fit. If the Yankees could figure out Kikuchi, that'd be a great fit. But I think my top guy is Manaea. Kikuchi to NYY, is that as a reclamation project? I'd be so down. Yeah, absolutely. Be very down for that. Expectations for paying attention in class? Yeah, boring. No one likes paying attention in class. As for Severino's, okay. So expectations for Severino next year. I think Tyone's innings is where you would have Severino's innings at, and I think a 3.5 ERA. That's where I'm gonna. That's what I'm gonna go with. 3.5 ERA, because I like Severino a lot. So and I think Steamer has him at that ERA as well. So I think that's a pretty fair expectation. What should the Yankees do at Voit? I think they should just trade him. And I think Garver, Voit, Schmidt kind of deal. Like the Yankees put Voit in a package for Garver would work because the Twins could actually use a first baseman. If you look at Miguel Sano, he's pretty not good. Sano's the issue with Sano is just that he's just he's very inconsistent, not very good. And I genuinely think the Twins are going to want to have a better first baseman than that. So give him Voit, give him Schmidt, give him Sands, Donnie Sands. I think you got a nice deal there. Really intrigued by your Floreal tweet today. Really intrigued about Floreal after your tweet today. Yeah, Floreal, love Floreal, but it wasn't really my tweet. That's Stanzo's tweet. Stanzo really, I think ultimately we'll look back on Floreal this year and we'll say, I feel we'll be more excited about his future, and I really like him. So big Floreal guy. I think they should go after Buxton. He's a contact hitter that has speed and can be a great weapon in the late innings. I think Buxton is my top center field guy. If I could hand pick my center fielder, that's Byron Buxton right here. That's my top guy. Byron Buxton's incredible. I love that man. Byron Buxton would be incredible for the Yankees. Should the Yankees get Greg Bird? Why not? Minor league deal. Let's bring Birdie back. Joe to NYY. Who's Joe? Oh. Okay. Yeah. I deserve that. Would you consider Stanton elite? An elite hitter, but I'm not sure about elite. Yeah. I deserve that. I deserve that. I deserve that. I know. Would I consider Stanton elite? Stanton is an elite hitter. Not sure about an elite player just because he's a DH. It's kind of hard to be an elite player if you're a DH, unless you're Ohtani. So would say elite player, elite hitter, not an elite player. I would say elite player is kind of reserved for top 15. Yeah, I got. I know. I'm going to close my door. 1 second. Just going to close my door. It's loud. Yeah, I got. Someone's going to clip this, and I have been got. But it's okay. It's okay. It happens. It's all right. We're all good. Judge or Acuna? So per plate appearance value versus like for 2022, I'll say Acuna is the better player, but Judge will be better in 2022 because he'll just play more. But yeah, do you think the Yankees should invest in young talent? I mean, they're going, yeah, always. I mean, absolutely. That's why Floreal is intriguing. You should always have young talent. And I think they're going to consistently continue to do so. They'll draft better. They'll sign international free agents. They've drafted a lot better in the last few years, which is good to see. And I think that trend should continue, and they should continue to be a pretty good farm system, a pretty good organization that can pump out young talent over the next 3 to 4 years that helps continue this core and keep our World Series window open. Glaber's 120. We'll go 120. Thoughts on DJ? Gets a lot of crap. Gets too much crap from people who didn't like the contract, and way too much praise from people who value contact too much. So like properly rated, I would say, because there's like the two extremes and kind of pull at each other. So kind of just like vortex, like there's like void where it's like wherever it is in the middle, that's what DJ is. So like a solid hitter, good versatility, good defender. Overall, good player. Maybe not the greatest contract in terms of years, but on a per year basis, I like the money. And I like the player. What should the Yankees do with Herman? That's a great question. Domingo Herman he's talented. Like Domingo Herman is very, very talented. And he's got some of the best stuff in the Yankee organization. He's really like an incredible changeup. I mean, his natural spin, his spin efficiency, it's across. He's a good pitcher. Like there's nothing I can say that can take away from the fact that he's a good pitcher. However, with that being said, he is an awful human being and I hate him. But I think there's something that people don't really talk about where, if you release Herman, you're kind of playing with this, like, or you're just going to kind of let him go unmonitored with his family after getting released and just let him, go off without anyone monitoring him, no one checking up on him, no contacts, because he's probably lost all contacts with his teammates if he got released. It's a dangerous situation to put his family in. And so I say the Yankees they're not bad for keeping him. They are kind of in a sticky situation there. But he's just weird. Like, he's good sometimes. He's like, I don't know if you've seen the videos, like sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Like, he's okay. He's talented, but I don't know what to think about him because, I mean, on the field, off the field, very clear what you should think about him. He's a terrible human being. But on the field, I mean, he's just so inconsistent. Like, he gets strikeouts. I'm trying to look at his numbers right now so I can get a refresher because he was awful in the second half. But like his ground ball rate was a 42%, but his fly ball rate was also 43%. So he should probably get more ground balls. I think that's the obvious one. He strikes out he struck out less batters this year than usual, which is not great, but doesn't walk too many guys. He's just weird. He's just weird. Anyways, I don't know what to think about Herman. He just pisses me off because just like he can't. No. LeMay was clutches versus years. I like LeMay. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's great. I think he's good, not great. Nestor should start or long relief? Long relief. Bullpen guy. I don't think he's a starter. Any bullpen arms that you think we should get? Anyone who's cheap. Legitimately, no expensive arms. Anyone who doesn't cost that much money. I think you could get Heaney to be a reliever, just because that'd be funny. But seriously though, don't spend a lot of money on the bullpen. I don't even think you need to spend any money on the bullpen. I think you have a surplus of arms, so don't worry about the bullpen. Get anyone who's like minor league deals. Don't get anyone crazy. Biggest clutch moment this season. It has to be that. I mean, I would say it's that Stanton home run. So yeah, that was nuts. But I can actually think I can find Yankees 2021 WPA leaders. Single season plays. One. Okay. No. I'm trying to look at like the biggest WPA moment for the Yankees. Find it. But I do think that it's probably the Stanton home run in the Field of Dreams game. That's the first one I think of. Or the Stanton. Just think of any Stanton moment against Boston. Yeah, that's probably it. Oh, the grand slam against Boston. That's probably the clutchest one because it was 2 outs. Should the Yankees target Chafin? Oh, favorite game this season. Let me answer that one first. The Tyone 7 innings. My favorite game in that depends because the Yankees were so stressful that someone was genuinely hurt. I would say my favorite ones were the ones where it was easy wins, like the Mariners game we blew them out. But in terms of satisfaction, I would say the Heaney game, the Heaney Red Sox game. I didn't watch it live, so I rewatched it because I was on a flight to LA. But rewatching it, that is my favorite game of the year. That was incredible. Should the Yankees target Chafin? Think he declined his option? He did. No, because you cost money, and I don't really see the Yankees needing to spend money on their left-handed reliever. They have Wandy, they have Joely, they have Litke, they have options. They're good. They have Nestor. They have left-handed relief options. Thoughts on Heaney? Minor league deal at most. He's just he's always going to be a guy look at his skill interactive ERA, look at his xFIP. Look at those metrics. He's gonna be good. He's gonna figure it out, and he never does because gives up a lot of fly balls. So I don't know if I love the idea of bringing back Heaney on anything else other than a really small contract as a reliever. Heaney could probably figure it out the Matt Blake lab, hopefully. But I just it's at the point where you're starting to question whether he'll ever put it together and whether he's just kind of a Sierra xFIP guy and never really puts it together ERA wise. What's Lickey's contract? I'm pretty sure he's still under because he got a minor league deal. He never finished his 6 years of service time, so he's still under contract. From what I understand, so he'll be around to 2025 on a contract, so that's great. But yeah. Overall, other than that, Lickey's contract's pretty good. Any more questions? We're going on. Wow, I've been here for 32 minutes. I didn't even notice that. No reason for the Yankees to none. If the Yankees decline his option, just trade him, right? You could just trade him. He has value. He's a good reliever. So he's good. I can't see a reason to decline it. So yeah. Should Yanks offer Gardy a contract? This is a tough one. I'd say no. I would say ultimately no. What after next year, do the Yankees go after Joey Gallo? That's another tough one because it's do the Yankees it's if he's really, really good, would the Yankees pay him a lot of money? No, because the Yankees are going to be paying Judge. But if he's really, really bad, the Yankees also wouldn't pay him. So it's kind of he has to be good enough to be good and not get a big contract, but not great enough to get a big contract. So it's a weird situation. I don't know if they bring him back. It doesn't even have to be a matter of, he sucked. No, it could be a matter of he was so good that he priced himself out of the Yankees range. Honorable mention on MLB Nerds top 10 too. Yep, Joely Rodriguez. Top 20, excuse me. Honorable mention on MLB Nerds top 20 reliever list, Joely Rodriguez. That's his official name. What do you think the Judge contract will be? 210 years, 210 million, 7 years. Yeah, that's what we're going to go with. That's what we're going with. Most underrated reliever on the Yankees and most underrated hitter. And you didn't say starting pitcher, so I'll throw in starting pitcher as well. Most underrated reliever, I'll say, is Joely. I think Joely is I think he's a better version of Wandy Peralta. And I think that ultimately Joely is going to get less recognition. And people are talking he should decline his option or this or that. He is the best left-handed option we have outside of Yeah, no, the best left-handed option we have. And I think because I forgot Britton is hurt, so and I thought I would say if Britton is healthy, he would potentially be that, but I would say Joely definitely the best left-handed reliever we have, and I'd say he's the most underrated. As for the most underrated hitter, I think it has to be Gallo, right? Because everyone hates Gallo on this. Really, everyone hates Gallo. But if I wanted to go with not Gallo, I want to go with Higgy, just because Higgy, not because he's a great hitter, but because as a position player, Higashioka is the best catcher on the roster. And there's still somehow a debate about that. And I don't understand why, because Higashioka is objectively the best catcher on the roster. Which Yankees do I think aren't coming back? Voit, Urshela, Kluber, Sanchez, Rizzo, I'll say is a bubble one. Gardy, I'll say is a bubble one. And yeah, that's what I'll go with. Gallo, most underrated. Yeah, I think Gallo or Higgy. Those are my two picks. Is Jonathan Davis... is Jonathan Davis a better hitter than Mike Trout? Absolutely. The way Jonathan Davis plays the sport of baseball, he clearly cares about it more than Mike Trout. I see, Jonathan Davis helping the Yankees in a playoff run. I didn't see that from Mike Trout for the Angels. And so, I really think that Jonathan Davis is the better baseball player and the better hitter because he just cares a little bit more. Thoughts on Chapman? Assuming we're talking about Aroldis, he is a very, 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 very inconsistent reliever at times, but he's a good one. I think ultimately the Yankees should stop just having him only be the closer. I'm going to pull up his stats right here just so I could be more exact. But he finished the year with what was considered a bad year for him. A 78 ERA minus, which translates to 3.36 ERA, and a 3.24 SIERA. That's a pretty good relief season. And I think the problem is he walks way too many guys this year, like for an absurd amount of guys this year. He got barreled to hell. He gave up way, way too many barrels. But I think that he's a good reliever, but he cannot just be trotted out there to close. And he's definitely not worth the money he's getting because no reliever is worth that much money. Who do you think they'll go after, and what are your locks? Locks, either Correa or Seager. They'll get one of those two. I think they'll go after Chris Taylor. I think they'll go after Matt Olson. I think they'll go after Anthony Rizzo. I think they'll go after Sean Manaea. I think they'll go after these are the guys I think they'll go after. I think they'll go after Pena. I think they'll go after Tanaka. I think they'll go after if Tanaka opts out. And I think they'll go after Canna. Those are the guys I think they go after. I don't think they go after any relievers. And if they are, it's minor league guys. Who do you think top 5 best relievers on the Yankees right now? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Loizaga, Holmes, Green, King, Chapman. Those are my 5. Yeah. I forgot Chapman. That he's better than Joely as a left-handed reliever. I think that's pretty fair to say. But I'm not sure how. You know what? I'm going to say I'm not 100% sure on that, though. It's very close. Very, very close. So, yeah, that's my top 5. Big top 5 kind of guy. Like top 5s. Yeah, reliever King, incredible guy. Love the guy. Love him. I gave him a lot of crap early because it was like he's gonna walk you, but he really figured out the strike zone. Most overrated player in baseball. I think you consistently kind of get the answer of like Salvador Perez if you're talking to like someone who's really analytical, and I would consider myself pretty analytical, and so I would say Perez is probably a pretty good answer. So Salvador Perez. Most overrated player in the Yankees. That's a tough one. That is a really, really, really tough one. Okay, so I gotta think position players roster. I would say it's tough. It's not LeMahieu. It's not Urshela. It's not Voit. It's not. I wouldn't say it's Gary. I wouldn't say it's Judge or Gallo or Hicks. I wouldn't say it's Gardner. Not Cole, not Tyo, not Monty. I would say maybe Nestor. Maybe Nestor, because I really don't think Nestor's a starter. And I think some Yankee fans really think he's pretty good. And I don't know if he's that good. Yeah, but I feel bad doing that too, because like, what has Nestor really done to be overrated? He's done his job. But maybe this is tough. This is really tough. I'm gonna go with Urshela maybe, because I don't think Urshela's that good at all. How about that? Was Holmes the most underrated addition to all baseball? Yeah. At the deadline? Yeah. I'll go with that. I think that's a pretty good take. Obviously, there may be some other sneaky guys, but I would say it's a pretty good take. Yeah, I would honestly saying Urshela's the most overrated Yankee. That's tough too, because I don't even think that many Yankee fans like love Urshela. You know, and the thing is with Nestor, it's like I don't want to be like I'm the anti-Nestor guy. Like I think that's dumb. You know what I mean? Like who wants to be the anti-Nestor guy? I just don't know if he's that good. I think he might be a better pick than Urshela. I don't know if Urshela's overrated. I don't think he's that good, but I don't think anyone thinks he's stellar. So I think you're an Urshela stan, but I don't think you'd sit here and tell me Urshela's like a top 5 third baseman. So maybe it's Nestor. Maybe, not sure. That's a tough one. Just because like a lot of Yankee fans really hate their own players, so kind of hard to overrate players your guys really don't like. He's top 3, but you see, I know you're joking. So like we're good. Like we're good, right? So I don't think he's that over. Maybe he's not overrated. Not sure. Would you rather Gardner or Urshela? Because you could still have him as a utility guy. Like that's not like why as a good utility infielder, like Urshela can definitely do that job. Like I don't think Urshela's like a bad player, and you don't want him on your team. He definitely provides value. So Thoughts on Vasquez? Wait, Velasquez or Vasquez? That's a very important distinction here. Vasquez or Velasquez? Because we're talking different opinions on both. And Vasquez is in Randy Vasquez, or I'm gonna need a full name here. I'm gonna need a full name. Velasquez or Wade? Wade. Tyler Wade's a better baseball player. But yeah, no. What's you mean Velasquez? Velasquez. Okay, I think you meant Velasquez. I think he is okay-ish. I don't know if he's very. I think Wade is better. That's my take. I really do think Wade is the better player. I don't really like Andrew Velasquez more than I like Wade as a talent. I like Velasquez more as a person because I think he's a cool story, but as a talent, probably taking Wade. Though maybe there's some potential with Velasquez. He does barrel the ball quite a bit. So maybe. Who knows? Right? Who knows? Could definitely should be competing for the utility spot next year. Gonna watch some hoops? Yeah, go watch some hoops, brother. You're a Heat. Are you a Heat fan? I'm not. Let me check. Forget if you're. Yeah, you are a Heat fan. I'm not a big Heat guy, but let's go Heat, I guess. I don't know. But thanks for coming by, man. Love you, man. Good night. Do you think Cole's overrated? No, not at all. Not at all. Garrett Cole's I love Garrett Cole. I think Garrett Cole's overhated. I think Garrett Cole legitimately, he is a very, very good pitcher. He is a top 3 pitcher in baseball. He's undeniably an ace. I don't understand Bob Clappish going on and saying, Garrett Cole isn't an ace. What, are you serious? He's obviously an ace. Garrett Cole's one of the best pitchers in baseball. Top 3 pitcher, undeniable ace. 1 bad game, still has a sub-3 ERA in the postseason, still an elite pitcher, still going to finish top 2 in Cy Young voting. Come on. Elite guy. He's elite. Good night, bro. I hate that I have this tweet of me saying I would slander LeMahieu for years if he slightly regressed in 2021. Because, crap. Because that's exactly what he did. Gotta watch the Islanders. I haven't watched them in a bit. But I'm probably gonna wrap things up here because we're 44 minutes into it. If you guys like what I do, subscribe. I'm gonna do these pretty frequently over the off season. So yeah. Who's better? Christian Vasquez or Higgy? I'm taking the Higster. Taking Higgy too, Chad. But marginally, I think. I mean, that's a tough question because I don't know what Vasquez is next year. But I would say it's close. I would say I would take Higgy Chad just because I like the Higster. I'm biased a little bit. And I really believe in Higashioka's talent, but I would say saying Vasquez is better isn't a bad take either. Off topic, best borough. I'm gonna go Queens, my hometown, my home. I'm gonna say Queens. It's probably Manhattan, but I'll say Queens. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good Q&A. I think honestly, this was a pretty good one. If you guys like me too, subscribe. We're gonna be doing these more often. But I really enjoyed spending some time with you guys, just talking about the Yankees. It's your boy Ryan. Follow me at Ryan Garcia ESM and subscribe to Fireside Yankees. See you guys around. Ryan out. Good night, everyone. Love you all.